Excuse me. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree. And I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of March 2021. For the readings this month, I will be using my Groovy Weight Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Capricorn, with a intuitive life coaching oracle card. It's a brand new deck that I am working with, and I'll share more about it at the end of your reading. So if this is your first time catching a reading with me, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. All right, Capricorn, let's go ahead and get right into it. So what do we need to know? For the sign of Capricorn as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of March 2021. All right, Capricorn. So, looks like you've got a lot of things going on, but here's the thing. Information that you've been waiting for comes through, and so that really motivates you to start taking action, right? You're not wasting time. You're making moves. You're doing what you need to do. And the good thing about this is that it's like things have been kind of rearranged. I think that's the best way to say it. Let's go ahead and start here. Two of Wands. This means that plans have been put on hold. You know, especially things that have some type of money tied to it. Could be vacation, maybe a move, maybe starting a new job, whatever the case may be. I can clearly see here that some plans have been put on hold. Now we also have the Two of Pentacles here, which means that there's some monitoring, there's some reviewing we have to do of our budget, of our bills, of our statements, our invoices. There's something that needs your attention, right? There's something that needs to be looked over, something that has to be double and triple checked, especially money stuff, okay? So make sure you take the time to do that. As we move into this new month, we've also got the Queen of Swords and the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is the card that tells me that things are starting to move ahead. Things are starting to, progress. The only thing about the Queen of Swords is sometimes she's a little irritated because things start happening unexpectedly. And sometimes things happen when, you weren't ready for them, right? It's like, I've been waiting, for so long for whatever it was, and now things finally start happening, and I've got 8 other things that I need to tend to. That's what I'm picking up with this Queen of Swords. It's like she's annoyed, not necessarily disappointed, but she's annoyed because she had things in place and they didn't happen. So she went in a different direction, and now things are starting to finally come through, and now she has to kind of rearrange her plans all over again. But this is actually going to be a good thing, even though you may be feeling a little annoyed, a little irritated, just know that whatever it is that you were hoping for or that you are working towards, it's going to start happening, and it's going to start happening very, very quickly. Three of Cups, again, talks about canceled plans. The other thing about this, the Three of Cups talks about someone leaving the situation, right? If there is a third-party money situation, someone's probably going to remove themselves because it's probably just not a fit. Maybe it's not a match, whatever the case may be. I don't think this is going to apply to all of you, but for some of you who may be in partnership situations, especially things in relation to work, business, investing, I see this card a lot when things happen and there's a realtor, like things don't work out. Like, let's say you're trying to buy a house and you're working with one realtor or one, real estate person, and then something happens, and then you change to a different real estate person. It's like that kind of a situation. So for those of you who are looking to buy a house, maybe the realtor you're with isn't quite working out for you, and you need to find somebody else who's going to be more more proactive for you. We also have the Moon card. Now the Moon card, I love seeing this card in reverse because it talks about things being revealed, information that was once hidden, either deliberately or not deliberately, comes to the surface. Things get exposed. It's not anything that salacious all the time, but sometimes it is. There's something that was once hidden from you that comes to the light, and you are aware of it, and maybe you were never aware of it before. But again, this is going to be something critical in the nature of your drive in order to, create more money for yourself, to start a business, whatever the case may be. This information really is going to be something that allows you to pivot or allows you to kind of move in a new direction, so you can say, hey, now that I know this, I can do this. And again, there is a money tied to it. So whatever the case may be, it's definitely going to be something that either saves you money, makes you money, or protects your money. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, prosperity and abundance for the month of March 2021. What do we need to know for the sign of Capricorn? Okay. Now some of these cards, they kind of fell sideways, so I'm not sure if all of them are supposed to be, because I'm feeling like these two should be like this. That's just what I'm picking up intuitively. I know not everybody may agree, but that's what I'm feeling. These two should be upright. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, again, this is that energy of something being eliminated, something being stopped, something being cut off, and you making the decision, not something that you wanted to do, Capricorn, but it's something that has to be done. Justice card in the reverse talks about karma. Now, justice in the reverse doesn't always mean karma. However, I'm picking up that this is karmically related. King of Swords, you making the decision to stop, eliminate something. Justice in the reverse is a karmatic exchange, right? Karma energy. I'm feeling like this is something too, Capricorn. Again, this is something money and savings and investing related. So I don't know, maybe you invested in something and I feel like there's something coming full circle. Like maybe you gave and then now it's time for you to receive. Or it could be the opposite. But I am feeling like there is a karmic tie to this here. For some of you, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Again, because I'm doing a general reading, I'm not picking up specifics on this. But the thing that I do know is that there is a karmic tie to this. Something being eliminated, something karmically involved here. Next we have the Fool card. Now the Fool card in the upright position means there's a brand new journey starting. There's a brand new adventure. You're moving into something new. Now it doesn't necessarily mean it's something unfamiliar, right? It just means it's something new. It's a new journey. It's a new direction. So it could be a new job, could be a new relationship, could be a new business, could be a new investment, but there's still a lot to learn. So don't rush yourself trying to hurry up and get to wherever it is you're trying to go. Take your time and allow yourself the time and the freedom to learn and to really explore all the possibilities. Next we have the Ace of Wands. Now the Ace of Wands talks about something that started, but then something kind of stops or something kind of halts the growth or the movement. Remember when we had the Chariot, we saw that things were happening very, very quickly, and a lot of things were happening at once. The Ace of Wands tells us that, new things are happening, but the growth is kind of slow. This also shows up when we, again, move into investments, and maybe, things aren't quite growing as fast as we thought. Maybe we're not seeing, growth or, returns as quickly as we had expected to. It's okay. The other thing about the Ace of Wands is you can see clearly that it's a hold'em card. So if it is investment related, for those of you who do invest, this card is telling you just hold, okay? Just hold. Don't sell. Just hold and ride everything out. You're going to be just fine. All right, now we have the Emperor card. We also have the Judgment card. Now, the Emperor card is a card of control. The other thing about the Emperor is he is someone who really doesn't like to maneuver too much. Once he finds his spot, he is very much anchored there, and he stays there, and he very rarely shifts from that. And I have a feeling for you, Capricorn, that that's kind of where you are. It's like once you find your sweet spot as it relates to money, that's where you're going to anchor yourself for a while. You're not going to be easily distracted by something else. So if you're interested in real estate, that's where you're going to plant yourself for the time being. Or if it's, I don't know, stocks, whatever, that's where you're going to plant yourself. And I think that's going to serve you well, because you're going to have a really solid understanding of what's going on. And you're really going to be able to use your knowledge and your experience in order to make some gains with that. Next, we have the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card is a decision being made in your favor, Capricorn, so get ready. This is definitely going to be a win somehow for you. For those of you who work, maybe it's going to be a decision at work for you to get a raise, for you to get a promotion, for you to transfer, if that's what you want to do. Whatever the case may be, it's definitely a good decision coming your way. Finally, we have the Four of Pentacles, which means, really pay attention to that budget. Pay attention to, how you're spending and how you're delegating your finances throughout the month. The other thing about the Four of Pentacles is sometimes we're really, really tight with our money, and sometimes that's okay. But really make sure that it's justified. We don't want to be too stingy, but at the same time, we don't want to be, overly giving and wasteful. But you really have to find a balance when it comes to your money. Budget in some, cash for some fun, or for, making a fun purchase. Try not to be overly strict with yourself. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances. Prosperity and abundance for the month of March 2021. Okay, as we move into the second half of March, Capricorn, look for some assistance, some financial assistance that kind of comes through for you. I have a feeling, though, it's not going to be everything that you were expecting, because we got the Three of Swords here. Knight of Pentacles means someone or something shows up with some financial help, with some money, maybe with money they owe you. But there is a little bit of disappointment, because it means that it's probably not going to be everything that you were expecting it to be, or maybe it's going to fall short of what you wanted, Let's say somebody says, oh, I'm going to pay you back that money I owe you. Here's $200, but they owe you $5. It's one of those types of things. Either way, it's good. It's good that somebody's showing up to help, or somebody's showing up to pay you back. The only thing is that we might be a little bit, like I said, disappointed with exactly what it is. But it's still good, A little something is better than nothing. Next, we got the Four of Cups. I have a feeling this is something work-related for some of you. It looks like you're going to be getting a job offer or something like that, and it may not necessarily be what you want, Capricorn. The boss says, hey, we've got a brand new position open. I thought you might be interested. And then you look into it and you're like, Well, that's nice that they thought of me, but that's not really what I want to do or the direction I want to go. So pay attention to the opportunities that do show up for you in the second half of the month, you know, Capricorn, because not everything is going to resonate with you. Next, we have Justice in the reverse. Now, the Justice card in the reverse, the interesting thing is that we got this twice. This is a repeater here, okay? So the Justice card in the reverse definitely is a karma card. Looks like maybe you may have to pay some karmic debt. Capricorn, don't be alarmed. Everybody does. We all have it. And we all have to resolve it in one way or another. But it looks like something, again, I keep picking up that this is karma related. By the time we hit the middle of March here, Capricorn, you're going to have to kind of, you know, do whatever it is that needs to be done. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be something negative, okay? But at the same time, it's something that's going to give you some experience and some wisdom I'm picking up. And so, you know, do what you got to do and try to stay mentally strong, you know, stay on top of your game as best as you can. And understand that, you know, you're going to be better off for it. You know, once you kind of, you know, clear the karmic slate, so to speak, it's going to open up a lot more energy and money flow for you. Next, we have the Fool card in the reverse. Now, this is also another repeater talking about a new journey. Now, the Fool in the reverse, sometimes it's when he is a little bit too naive or a little bit too, you know, it's like he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and so he kind of takes action anyway. You want to be very, very careful with that, especially when it comes to anything money or finance, work, career, investment related, okay? If you do not understand something, do not pretend like you do. The Fool in the reverse says that we really have to take our time and admit when we only can do so much or we only know so much, okay? So don't get caught up in that cycle of, you know, pretending you know everything when you don't, because it will have financial repercussions that may not necessarily be the best. Finally, we have the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords talks about travel. This is also the card like an international over water travel. So you could be taking a trip in the second half of March, Capricorn, or it could just be a trip over water. The other thing about this card too is sometimes I see this when you make the choice to go away from something, right? When you make the choice to kind of put some distance in between you and something or someone else. So it could even be a relationship, but it's not a separation. It's just there's distance, right? It's like taking a trip, going away, going on a road trip, going on a drive, something like that. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of March 2021. All right. So by the time we close out March, Capricorn, looks like it's going to be all good. We've got the Ten of Cups here, one of the most positive cards in the deck. That is the card of ultimate happiness, joy, contentment. Whatever you do, whatever you're working on through this month, just know that by the time you hit the end of March, you're going to be celebrating. Three of Cups, this is the card of celebration, parties. It's interesting because this card we also saw here, but I'm not picking up that these two cards are related. But they could be. The Three of Cups, again, remember I told you there's a third party who leaves the situation. Maybe you find the new party, the new replacement here by the end of the month. So if you are getting rid of that realtor, looks like you're going to find someone who you absolutely adore and love by the end of the month. And that is cause for celebration. We also have the King of Pentacles here. Now, this is the card of financial literacy, financial education, financial wisdom. This is a very good card because it means that you are taking the time to research and to learn and to understand exactly what it is your money is doing and not doing for you. This is a very powerful card because it, it really puts things in perspective for you, and you're not operating out of inexperience or naivety, but you're operating based on facts and what you have learned and how you understand whatever it is, whether it's, like I said, investing, gold and silver, cryptocurrency, whatever the case may be. You're learning, and you are, doing good things with the things that you learn. Next, we have the Queen of Swords here. Now, this is a card of cutting away at the unnecessary. I like seeing this card in the upright position because the Queen of Swords talks about removing stuff that's getting in our way. And it's usually something very, very good, like decluttering, selling stuff that you're not using. It's also just removing maybe some people in our lives that, not that there's anything negative going on, but you just know that this is not your tribe. And so you kind of remove yourself from a certain group of people or maybe a certain environment, okay? This is very, very good because it talks about removing the unnecessary and having the power to do so. Next, we have the World card in the reverse. This is an unfinished cycle, which means that there's some things that are probably going to be incomplete by the time we hit the end of the month. Now, this is not anything to be worried about, but it is something to understand that once things get started, it's very important that we finish them, because if we don't finish them, we create these energetic leaks in our world, and sometimes that disrupts our money flow, okay? You don't ever want to leave things unfinished. Now, this Ten of Swords card is very interesting because I also got the Page of Swords right next to him. Page of Swords talks about some news and information coming in. Didn't we have him? Maybe not. Okay, there's some news and information coming in about something being eliminated, something being removed. Now, we also have the Ten of Swords card. The Ten of Swords is the card of backstab, betrayal. And I'm wondering if this is a literal backstabbing or betrayal, or maybe this is just something energetically, right? Or maybe something karmically. We've been talking about that a lot in your reading this month. So I'm not picking up that this is like a specific person, but I'm feeling like there's a situation that feels like a betrayal for you, Capricorn, right? It could be, and I have a feeling these two things are related here. Because the Page of Swords, again, talks about information or a message coming. And it's a message about something being stopped or being discontinued. And I feel like there's a situation here that feels like a betrayal, but it's not a specific person. So it's not anything personal. But, sometimes, like something like this happened to me where my insurance company decided to just discontinue my my coverage. And it's like, well, what the heck happened? It's not, I never missed a payment, I never had any issues. They just discontinued me for whatever reason. And that felt like a betrayal, but it's an insurance company, so it's obviously nothing personal. It was probably an internal decision to some degree. So I share that because sometimes we get situations like that where it feels like it's a stab in the back, or it feels like it's a betrayal, but it's really not, because it's not like I had an intimate, personal, close relationship with my insurance company. So that could be something similar to what happens here, okay? The only thing, like I said, because this is a general reading, I can't tap into specifics, but we're just going to have to stay open and see what happens and see what shows up at the end of the month. So Capricorn, your month is pretty powerful. There's a lot going on. There's some things energetically that I can feel that need to be dealt with, and it looks like March is going to be the month where things come up and things definitely do get resolved, okay? So that way you can move forward. All right, I'm feeling like these two cards are for you, Capricorn. This is the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle deck. by Kelly Smith. She graciously shared this deck with me. I absolutely love it. The artwork is beautiful, but my favorite thing about this deck is that it is so direct and simple, you know, to read. It's very practical. You don't have to stress about, oh, what does that mean? The cards clearly tell you. So let's see what we got for you, Capricorn. Nice. We got spiritual gifts and we got universal flow. Spiritual gifts. You are in the process of developing and fine-tuning your spiritual gifts. Love it. Universal flow. I feel like this definitely is in your reading here. It is time for you to slow down, breathe, and take time to smell the roses. Yes, 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 yes. So maybe that's what this month is for you. It's about you kind of slowing down, kind of taking time to really embrace what's going on and figure out, you know, I got this. I'm going to take care of what needs to be taken care of, and then we're just going to continue to graciously move forward. All right, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.